Hey, what's going on, guys? Ryan from Ryan here. We're in beautiful Chetville today, and I'm going to show you guys the essential mods, at least in my opinion, what the essential mods are for this game. A lot of these mods we're going to look at today, I feel like should probably just like be a part of the game, but they're not. So that's why I'm making the video, to show you guys how to improve your experience in Cities Skylines, you know, tenfold here. So let's get started. We're gonna look at the most important mods that I think should be placed into the game. There are actually 3 mods that work hand in hand here. The first mod I'm gonna show you is called MoveIt. Then we're gonna show you the node controller renewal mod, and then intersection marking tool. All 3 of those mods I feel like kind of go into one there, and we got a little bit of a traffic problem here, but that's okay. All right, so the first things first, let's look at MoveIt. So let's get out of this view. And the MoveIt mod, once you install MoveIt, you'll get this little, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you'll get this little 3 or 4 arrows there and a bunch of controls here. Now, I'm not going to go into the full in-depth on how to use each mod. I'm basically going to show you how I use the mods, and then you guys can figure all the rest out yourself once I show you the basics. So what I'm going to show you here is what's cool about this. Like, I just made this ramp here. So I just built this big industrial zone because I'm having all kind of problems in my city with supply chain issues. So I just built this crazy industrial zone to try to supply my businesses here. And what I'm going to do, let's get rid of that. Ugh, you abandoned piece of crap. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, so like this is the way I placed the road. Now, as you can see, this looks a little bit kind of wonky here. I don't like how it kind of just like has all these weird little curves and bends to it. The way you place, you know, roads in this game, the way roads connect, especially off ramps and highways and stuff, in my opinion, is not very good. Like the slopes, the grades, they're just not very good. So what's cool about MoveIt is you can actually fix that. So if you click the little, the 4 arrows there, and then you click a node, you can kind of bend, you know, you just click and hold, and you can kind of bend these little roads here. You can also, let's right click to click off of that. You can also click these little circles here for each little node, and you can press page up and page down, which will kind of raise and lower the ground or the pillars. You know, say you have a pillar here, you want to lower that pillar, you can actually lower the pillar. So it just gives it like a more gradual slope. So that's what I like about this mod, is it makes these ramps and things, you know, you can make these a lot more realistic. So we can actually move, click and drag these nodes as well and move these around. You know, say we want this to be just like closer to you know, you know, you just want like a bigger arch there, so we can fix that. We could pull this in, fix that, and you know, that might not be exactly realistic, but it just looks a lot better than it was like with the default game. So that is MoveIt. Okay, you can move stuff around. Now you can do this with intersections. Like you could take an intersection and grab it and move it around. So what I like to do is I use this for highway ramps and stuff. So you know, I can get my highway ramps looking good. So after you hit MoveIt, you can click that again to click off of that down the bottom right. I use a tool after I'm done with MoveIt. So as you can see, like, look how wonky this is. We got these like diagonal lines here. You know, things don't really look and line up properly here. What you could use is the node controller. This is node controller renewal. To get that going, you either go into your roads and click this little button in the bottom right, but the easier way to get into that is just press Control N. And what that'll do is that'll activate node controller, and then you can click on a node like this little intersection here, and you can click and drag and line these up properly. So what I like to do is just kind of line these up. You can click and drag these, you know, back and forth, just to kind of line things up much, much better. Now, as you can see, look, that already looks better. And you can also hold Shift and click, or I'm sorry, yeah, let me hit Shift click, and automatically line stuff up too. So if you want like certain nodes to line up perfectly, now you got to play with that, be careful with that, because that could kind of screw up your intersections too. But you know, you can line stuff up perfectly. So once you have your nodes lined up, oh no, we don't have any. Oh dear, that is not cool. Whoa. Well, good thing we got the MoveIt mod in there, so we can press page down after clicking that MoveIt down the bottom right, and we can lower that back down. Once we do that, okay, we can paint these lines. This brings us into the third of the 3 mods that work very well together. This is going to be intersection marking tool. So you press, after Control N to edit the node, you press Control L to edit your markings. Now, this is one of the coolest mods out there. What you could do is you could click from one little circle to the other, and what that'll do is that'll create a line that wasn't there. So it just paints lines over the base map, basically. So you could change these to solid lines, double solid lines, dash lines, shark teeth, all kind of different stuff you could play with there. We're gonna leave that a solid line. Say it doesn't really line up, like see how that doesn't line up properly? You can, I believe it's control, click and hold, and you can drag. So yeah, control, click and hold, and you can drag those. I'm not super perfectionist with these because obviously, you know, you're playing the game from up here. You're not going to see that too much, but that's just something you can do if you want to do that right. So what we could do is we can actually create like a whole setup here. So I can add that. We could create a solid line with that. We could create a solid line between these two if we want to. We could create like if we want to click off that and then, you know, back out of that, click Control L again and fix these lines. We can. It just makes it really, really nice. You can make a really beautiful interchange there. So I'm gonna kind of probably fast forward the video here and do all this, and then I'll show you something else you could do with this. Okay, so basically what I did there was you can add rules to this. So say you have a line that goes, you know, across here all the way, but you have an intersecting line that maybe goes like from there to there or whatever. That doesn't really make sense. You can add a rule and then click the nodes you want to click, and what it'll do is just edit that part that intersects. So you'll need that, you know, when you want to create like things like this, like a triangle. It takes a little bit of playing around, obviously. Let's just delete that whole line because that's useless. But yeah, so that's how you create this. Now, once you've created this little circle here, say you want like a little chevron or like some lines in here. What you do is you press Alt, okay, hold Alt and click each little node there, okay, to make a complete, what they call it, a filler, okay? It's up here in the fillers. And you could create any type of filler you want. Grids, stripes, solids. Obviously, chevrons are probably the best. As you can see, the arrows are kind of pointing the wrong way there. What you can do is click invert or turn, and it'll turn the arrows and invert the arrows any way you want there. So that's a cool little way to create a chevron. That's how you kind of do these this line painting tool, guys. Now, this works at other intersections here as well. Like say you want to create little left, like say you've really gone into all this with the traffic manager and stuff, and you want to create like accurate turning lines and other lines like I've done at this intersection. That's how you kind of do it with this tool here, intersection marking tool. So what you could do, one cool thing I want to show you guys is presets too. So after say you've worked on an intersection here and you want to save that as a preset, all you got to do is click this little plus with the ribbon there, and it says save as preset. And what that'll do is that'll save it, so you can actually, for similar or exact, interchanges that are exactly the same, or nodes that are exactly the same, and you want to do a bunch of them, like I've done here. I've already completed all these. You could just basically save them as presets and load them in. So I'll just show you what that does real quick. Let me just select this here. Oh, we don't want the nodes. I'm sorry. We want Control L, the line painting tool, presets. Okay, and what I could do is I could just load that up for the on-ramp one that I've already created. That creates a full on-ramp. Now, say it's a little wonky, like say it shows up and it's a little bit wonky, like say it shows up like this, which it will sometimes. All you gotta do is click on the top here, rotate it around until it looks right, and then right-click. You could apply that, right-click to back out of all that, and there you go. That's how you create a little cool interchange that looks way better than the in-game stuff, which is pretty much non-existent. All right, let's move on to the next mod there, which brings us to Traffic Manager Presidential Edition. This is the greatest mod in the history of mods. So there's a ton of stuff you could do with this. I'm not gonna go through everything because this is a whole other video on itself, and there's tons of other YouTube videos out there that explain this mod. But what I use it for, real quickly, is you can create, like, say here, I just created this, all right? We actually, why don't we go through all this here, and I'll fix the node here, because look at those crosswalks. See those crosswalks? Those look like dog doo-doo. So what we can do is we kind of move these back and, you know, make this intersection look a little bit more realistic. It's not perfect, obviously, but there we go. So that's our node controller mod. Now, what we can do is you go into Traffic Manager. Now, you can drag this around the screen wherever you want. It's in the top left by default. And you can actually fix the arrows. So you can click lane arrows. Click this right here. Like, say you want to change these lane arrows. And you see these left and right lane arrows? Say you want it to go straight and left. Or just straight in the left lane. Or in lane 2, you want it to go straight. Or straight and left there. Like, say you want both lanes to be able to go either right or left. And then you want this one to go left, because we're coming off a one-way here into another one-way. You can do that, which is awesome. So we're actually just going to keep it the way it was, because it was set up properly. But that is a great tool. That is great for intersections that are driving you crazy. Like, say, you know, like, say everyone, you have a 6-lane road here. And everyone's going just straight, you know, in the right lane, and they're making all their turns from one lane or whatever. You can adjust these to make sense. Like, you want a dedicated left-hand turning lane, you want a straight and a right, and then a straight. Like, that's going to make the most sense for these intersections here. The in-game defaults are horrendous. So Traffic Manager allows you to do that. You can also use a lane connector. So say you want, like I'll show you right here. Look at these trucks here. Like, see how he's going into the right lane? Like, some of these vehicles will go into the right lane from the left lane. You don't want them to do that. They're actually kind of behaving themselves right now, but you did see that one truck that did that. What you could do is you could go to lane connector, click that, and then, oops, I don't have lane connector clicked on. Hold on a second. There we go. Click the junction. I'm sorry, that's why it didn't work. Click the junction. Now you see these little nodes here? You can force traffic to go from there to there. And then say you want this guy to go from here to here. And then you want this guy to go from here to here. And then you want this guy to go from here to here. That's gonna keep all the traffic just flowing. Because it will force the traffic to go into the proper lane. Now look how much that is just flowing right there, because nobody's getting in each other's way. Nobody's trying to cut each other off. It just makes sense. So that's the lane connector mod. This works for complex intersections. I have it used for this insane setup here, but it keeps the traffic flowing. It keeps the traffic moving. As you can see, this is an absolutely insane major intersection, a major route into my city, and there's not that much traffic. And that's because I have all kind of stuff working here with this Traffic Manager mod. So it's a really great, fun mod, and just something that I think should be just in the base game. So there you go. So everything's just flowing there. Looks real nice. So here, I'm going to show you one last thing with this as well. You could also do speed limits. Like, say you want your speed limits to be, you could change this, you know, kph or kmh and miles per hour as well. So you could change all that. You could change the speed limits on your highways, or take off the speed limits on the highways. Like, speed limits are 60 miles an hour on these highways. You can make them 90 miles an hour if you want. There's all kind of stuff you can mess with there. There's also vehicle restrictions. Like, say you don't want trucks on a certain road. Like, say you're trying to keep trucks off this road. What you could do is, and there's parking restrictions too. You could add vehicle restrictions here, and click on a road and add all these restrictions. So, like, I don't know what the recycling is. I don't know what SOS is. I don't know what that is. I think this is like buses, no buses, or whatever. I don't know why you restrict those, but no car traffic. But the big thing you're going to do is no trucks, and that's right in the middle there. You can make this road no trucks on either side as well. So very, very cool little thing you can do with Traffic Manager. The last thing I'm going to show you, I know I said that was the last thing, but the last thing I'm going to show you real quickly, because this is very complicated, is timed traffic lights. Now, this is amazing. Say you don't like how short a traffic light is behaving in your game, which you know is a huge problem, like for complex areas right here. So what you can do is you can set up a timed traffic light. I actually have these two traffic lights tied together so that this keeps this center area clear as possible, keeps traffic flowing, and keeps the red lights going, just like a real life intersection would. So as you can see, like you see the little red lights and little green lights. That means, you know, it's this person's turn to go. You can set up for each step You could set up how long you want the traffic light to last for each step. Like say you want this to come only, this traffic to come in for only like 5 seconds. This traffic, cross traffic, since it's main road traffic, to be like 15 seconds. You could do that with Traffic Manager created red light. Say you want to get rid of it, all you gotta do is hit delete, on the intersection, and you can delete it as well. So it is super handy. Traffic Manager Presidential Edition is a must-have for this game. It is a must. If you care about your traffic, you will want to treat them well. And look at this. Look at these sons of sticks here. Look at these sons of sticks. What are you doing there? All right, you need to go from here into, wait, let me click the intersection. From here to this lane. They're flying over in the left lane. That's gonna stop them from flying over in the left lane. Watch. Now that we use this tool, they're only gonna merge properly from now on. See? Oh, now you could change lanes if you'd like to. So yeah, now they change lanes when they're supposed to. So yeah, you don't want your traffic flying over, causing bottlenecks, especially say you have a backup somewhere. And I've messed with all this stuff. Like say you have a backup of traffic somewhere. You do not want, your traffic flying out into the left lane and then everyone's trying to get off on this exit. It makes it so much smoother, so much better. All right, we spent a lot of time on that. Let's move on. The next thing we're gonna check out is something called City Vitals Watch. Okay, so when you start the game, this will be automatically on your screen. It'll be kind of transparent so it doesn't get in your way that much, but you could edit the settings. There's all kind of settings. What this does is it keeps an eye on all of your city's vitals in one window. Instead of having to go up here and click each little thing and figure out, what the heck is this icon? What's a smiley face? What is this? What's this? What's this? You don't have to worry about that. Electricity availability, water availability, sewage treatment, landfill usage, which I don't think I have any anymore. I use, garbage processing, healthcare availability. I mean, my God, they got literally every stat that is super important to your city, basically right here, on one window. And you can see which ones you want to see, or you could select which ones you want to see. I just have them all selected. Your crime rate, everything. City Vitals Watch is an awesome, awesome mod. You should definitely grab it up. And if you don't want it there, guess what? It's gone. All right. And then you just bring it up at any time. So it's a great, great mod just to keep an eye on everything that's going on in your city at once. All right, another mod we're going to check out. Let's check it out. First-person camera. So this adds a ton of fun to your game. You can only zoom in so far in the base game. You can zoom in pretty far on the PC version, but you can't zoom in down to street level. Say you want to see all these sons of stinks down at their level and see the city from a new perspective. This is how you do it. Now, my frame rate is absolute garbage because I have a lot of stuff in my city and, I haven't messed with the settings. But if you want to walk around in your city, you can mess with the settings. Now, you will have to mess with the settings a little bit. Like, you can control your guy's height and stuff. When you first load it up, it's going to be a little goofy. But you just press the tab key once you get this mod in. Press the tab key, and that'll bring you down to street level. And you can adjust your speed and all kind of stuff in the settings for that as well. So that is an awesome little mod. One cool thing too, you can also click you could also click on a vehicle and it'll add this little camera button. So it'll let you see the game from your vehicles. Like say or a person's point of view too. So say you want to see the game from a person's point of view. Like say some bozo's walking down the street, he's walking to the zoo, or he's walking to your theme park or whatever. Let's go to Bozo Park here. Or Bozo, what is this? I forget what I named this. Dang it. Bozo Land, yeah. So say you want to look at some bozo walking around Bozo Land. You just click the person, click the camera, and you can just be this guy and just watch him throughout his day, which is through his eyes, which is like super creepy, but I mean, my God, it's awesome. He's going over to the monorail here, it looks like. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So this is an amazing mod. It really adds more immersion to the game and just more fun and seeing your city from a completely different view, because it really does look like very realistic. Like not really realistic, but like scale wise, you can get this thing looking really, really good. Like, you feel like you're in a city when you're watching it from that street level. So very, very cool mod. One of my favorites for sure. All right, what's next here? So we got a couple more on the list. Hide It. I have a mod called Hide It, which is awesome. So if you hit escape and you go into your options, and you go to hide it, what you could do is you can hide all kinds of garbage. Like say, you know that like annoying fog that you have? The only thing I use this for, and I'm just going to say what I use it for, you could hide anything, literally anything on this game. Almost anything that would annoy you. But what I use it for is I use it for like dirty areas. So like volume fog, I hide the volume fog. I don't like the volume fog. Oh wait, is it unhiding? Wait, yeah, I think it's unhiding. I'm sorry. So hiding means select it off. So like pollution fog, you can get rid of pollution fog. You can get rid of polluted areas. Like say you don't want the brown ground all over the place. You can get rid of pretty much everything. So like edge fog, which is like around the edge, you could turn that off. And this will give you better, performance out of your PC too. Not much, I've noticed, but a little bit. So what I do is I hide a couple fogs, and it just makes your game look a little bit clearer. It just makes it look more crisp and beautiful. So you can play around with that all you want. Hide it is that one. Our next mod that we're going to look at is modern fire stations. These actually are way awesome. Like if you guys notice, like the regular fire stations in this game have like this weird arch to them. I don't know if that's like European style or where they came up with that. But modern fire stations just give you basically a modern fire station. You can get little props if you want to place them in there with a couple other mods. I don't do that because, I don't really care. I just want a nice modern looking fire station. So that's it. That's what it looks like, guys. All right. So that's a cool one too. So the next one we're going to look at, I get this question all the time, and I'm sure every other content creator in the history of man does too. Why are your roads so dark? They look way better in this game dark. I don't know what it is about the default roads in this game. They're colored fine, but they just don't look very good. This makes your city look like you just got every road in your city paved, and I'll tell you how to do that. You get a mod called Road Options, and in parentheses it'll say Road Colors Changer ++. I don't know who names these things, but holy cow. So yeah, Road Options, Road Colors Changer ++. Now, they also named it something different in the options, so you got to remember that. It's Roads Color Changer ++. All you got to do is take all 3 bars for small roads, put them all the way down. Here's my setting right about there. For medium roads, you put all 3 of your bars down as well, around there. Large roads and highways. Once you slide these little bars down, guess what? All of your roads will be dark. So that's about where you got to get them. You could play with that, make the roads any color or darkness you want to make them. So that's an awesome mod. I love that mod. So I think the roads just look way better like that. So yeah, that's a cool one. We also have US container trucks. Now, I'm not going to touch any other asset mods like, Walmart and all that other stuff, but US container trucks, if you're like me and you're in the US and you don't like the European style trucks, no offense to anybody, but I don't think they look appropriate in American cities or what I like to pretend it is American city, I use these. And what that does is that replaces a good amount of your trucks, not all of them, but a good amount of your trucks with, like you can see there's a European style there, but a good amount of your trucks, and there's a European style there. It's not going to replace all of them. You can get other packs too. There's tons of packs for assets like that, but what I use is US Container Trucks Pack 1. Just looks more realistic. It's too bad it's a Volvo and not like a Peterbilt or something. All right, and then the next one is Ambient Sound Tuner, and this goes hand in hand with another mod, but I'll explain to you Ambient Sound Tuner first. What that does, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but there is something super annoying in this game. In any area where they have, now where is it? Any area that they have offices, you hear this constant beeping, and it is the most annoying thing. So if you ever zoom in this game to an area, an office area, you will hear this constant beeping. It is so annoying. You can turn that down with this mod, which is awesome. So you can turn down any sounds. What this does, this is just a big mixer, and it turns down, like say you could turn down day and night ambient sounds, like your agricultural, your city sounds. I turn down my daytime city sounds and my nighttime city sounds. And what that does is that turns down that beeping. You still hear ambience in the city, okay? I'll show you this. So you still hear the ambience, okay? I'm gonna unpause time. You can still hear it. It still sounds pretty good, but look what happens when I turn on the city sounds, okay? I'm gonna turn those all the way up real quick. Listen to this. You hear that beeping? Sounds like a heart monitor. Oh, that drives me absolutely insane. Beep, 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 beep. Whose idea was that? Are you crazy? And especially if you're walking around down here. Listen how loud that is. That beeping. Oh my goodness. Get out of here. So that was one of the first mods I looked up. I was how to get rid of that. And this came up. So all you gotta do, turn down your city sounds to almost nothing. And there you go. No more beeping. Listen. How much better is that? So that's how to get rid of that annoying beep. All the other sounds in this game I think are pretty good, but you might not like them, so you can mess with that all you want. That is Ambient Sound Tuner 2.0 at the time of this video. We also have, let's see what the last, oh yeah, and this goes with Bee's North American Sound Pack. You need to have Ambient Sound Tuner for Bee's North American Sound Pack. And what that does is that adds US, so listen to that. Hear that? That's an American police siren. If you don't have that mod, it would be like wee woo, wee woo. It's all European style sounds. All that does is takes your emergency vehicles and gives them American sounds. You can do that with ambulance, fire, and police. So ambulance, fire, and police will have American sounds, and the fire trucks actually sound awesome. They have the they all sound great. All the sounds in that are great. The ambulances sound great. So if you don't like the emergency vehicle sounds, you can go into Ambient Sound Tuner and turn up. It'll actually show up in here. Like say it isn't working or you can't get it working properly. It'll show up in here as, where are they? Yeah, there we go. So ambulances, fire trucks, and police cars. So sirens. That controls Bee's North American Sound Pack. So you can actually change that to default. Like say you do like the, maybe the fire truck sound, but not the police. So you can mess with that, turn the volumes up and down. Make sure your volumes are all the way up. I've had it to where my Bee's North American Sound Pack didn't work, and all it was these volumes were down. So just check that, and there you go. So that'll add American sirens and sounds to your game. That about covers it. Those are what I consider essential mods, at least for me, for Cities Skylines. It makes the game so much better. This is all stuff that's not game-changing stuff, but it's quality of life stuff. It's going to make your game look better, play better, sound better, and you'll have way more control over a lot of the traffic, intersections, and just the kind of annoying things that don't quite fit together right in this game. So there you go. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a like on the video as well. Go check me out on Facebook Gaming, guys. I stream live on Facebook Gaming at the time of this video, of course. It's Riotstream. It's fb.gg/Riotstream over there if you're seeing this on YouTube for the first time. So come check it out. I mean, we play a lot of simulation games, and thank you for watching. We have a wonderful community too. You're going to love it. Thanks, guys. Peace.